Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Adriana.
And I have autism.
And I don't. Hey guys, welcome to the Near Atypical podcast. Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. We've had so much fun so far doing this and talking about topics that mean a lot to us. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, SoundCloud, and we have YouTube. So you can go follow us there at the Near Atypical podcast.
Yes!
How's your week been?
This week's been okay.
Any challenges?
I had lots of challenges this week. I had been having some processing overload. And so for that reason, I had taken some time to just remove self.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Like removing yourself from the situation, or?
No, I mean really remove self from the world.
Oh, so to like how you didn't want to do anything all weekend.
Yeah, I laid low and didn't talk to anybody, did not do anything in regards to any social media or anything that has to do with electronics. Well, I take that back. I did binge on a show. It was in my interest and I wanted to do it, and I did that.
That's good.
And it kept my mind off of other things.
Yeah, I feel like since the craziness of Thanksgiving and that whole rush of emotion and just, having to process so many people and having to process all of these things, you just really needed like a 2-week break from all of that.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I have to do what I have to do. But I try not to share that with the world or put people through situations.
I think that's a form of self-care, to know that you need to get away and to get away.
And be alone. How did you deal with everything whenever I was
having a meltdown?
Yeah.
So like the day after Thanksgiving was just a meltdown day. I think recovering from the holiday. Were you prepared for that at all? That was going to be your reaction?
No.
It just kind of happened.
Yeah. But this year's also a different kind of Thanksgiving. Because it's also one less person around for me.
So this year Julie lost her father.
Since July.
July. So that was also something that made it, uniquely difficult, like extra difficult to deal with. But so there was a lot to recover from, and the way that I handled it, I don't think I did handle it very well, at least. How do your meltdowns manifest themselves?
Well, sometimes whenever I have meltdowns, I find that a lot of times, even if people think that it's super scary at the moment, my meltdown consists of lots of heat and feeling very, very hot. And when that happens, it starts to get frustrating and very out of control. And when that happens, frustrations can make you feel very sad and sometimes maybe really angry. And with all of those feelings and all of the things going in mind and all the thought, because you just can't handle it all. So
it's like everything's racing. Everything's
happening at the same time and there's no control. And then all of a sudden you just blow up.
What does this sound?
Like that.
Yeah. So what does that look like?
Sometimes it gets really destructive, or lots of crying, lots of screaming, and sometimes I found, or maybe you found, I don't know, maybe during the time whenever you're doing the holding really firmly, and the pressure, it just kind of helps with the soothing.
Does that really help?
Yes.
How do you feel when it's over? Some people may feel guilt over
those situations.
Right. Especially when it's happening in front of people that you don't know very well.
Well, sometimes I feel quite embarrassed or guilty for having meltdowns because I feel like I didn't have control of it, and also it's so much a part of me that the people that I care about don't know that some of these things do happen, and so they see a different person as if they were looking at someone in my...
That they never even met.
Yeah, like a monster. In a little monster.
Yeah.
Because I'm very little. But I don't mean to be. It just happens. And after it happens, I feel very sad. Because that also means the person that had to either witness it or deal with it probably sees me as a different person, in which I am not. Because honestly, I'm a very, very good person, and I care a lot about people, and I have so much care. Sometimes I lose a lot of friends. I lose a lot of people in my life.
Let's talk about the aftermath. What is the toll that it can take on your body?
Exhaustion.
Yeah.
I get really, 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 really tired, and sometimes I just want to sleep for a very, very, very long time. Because my body all of a sudden is drained, and I don't know. It takes a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy happening whenever a meltdown happens. There's also I guess that sleeping is like the reset moment, and it helps soothe and calm and cool down the body. I've also learned that when I wake up, I have a lot of energy to do amazing things.
You're like well rested again. So everybody with autism is different when it comes to meltdowns. What are the ways in which you find helpful for people if they ever see anyone have a meltdown, or if they ever see you have a meltdown? What are some things that people can do to...
I think whenever people see another person having a meltdown, especially for someone as an adult, just kind of like seeing what's causing it could be very helpful. With the anxiety, the triggers, or anything like that would be very helpful. I mean, I don't think people should see it as, oh, this person's older, why are they acting like this? It's kinda,
yeah. Or I hear a lot like, you're grown, like just act like it.
And I don't think that's the case. Also, if someone who's not aware, they probably said that. We're hoping to spread the message that, someone...
It feels uncontrollable.
Yeah.
So what else can they do if they see someone have a meltdown? What can people do to help?
For those who have parents, I think the parents kind of know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
If they're kind of used to the meltdowns. But one of the things that could help the parents and the children is that people don't make the situation worse by staring or judging. Because the parents...
Or making comments.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because the parents are trying their best to help.
Or, or a family member, like whoever they're with, too.
Yeah, to help ease the situation already.
Another thing that's helpful would be even like before you're going to go out somewhere, or, even just in the beginning of a friendship that you're really excited about. Even just having that open communication and saying, look, this is what my meltdowns look like, because everybody with autism has different types of meltdowns. So, like, this is what my meltdowns look like. This may happen, and here's what you can do to help me. Even a safety plan. Yeah. Because a lot of times, like, if you have a meltdown in public, and there can be, like, security called, things can go down. So I think a safety plan is important, and just kind of letting whoever you're with know that what to do in those kind of situations is very helpful.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
But I think sometimes that even because I have felt very, like, I don't want to feel a burden on people, but I don't know if I would be if I asked of others, or, I mean, if I told them, I may have this, what would they think of me? Maybe they're just not want to be around me, or just kind of find that,
it's too difficult.
Or if I may found the person I do trust that in with somebody. They may say okay, but then maybe truthfully they don't feel okay with it, and they just don't know how to say no. And so that can cause some depression as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to find someone. I mean, you should trust those you trust would help you if they're comfortable. And sometimes I don't know, or
you don't know, like, when would be a time to even introduce that.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't know if it's okay to even ask, or so sometimes I do think that maybe it is okay, but it's probably not. And
I mean, for me, as a neurotypical person, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But I can't speak for everybody. I don't think I would ever mind. I feel like it's because I've been in situations, especially before I knew that you had autism, and even with some autistic friends, and I didn't really know about it, and I had no idea what to do. and I felt in some of the situations.
Did you feel like you were not helpful?
I felt like I wasn't helpful. I felt like I did something wrong.
Did you want to be helpful?
I did want to be helpful. I think that when you're hanging out with anybody, really, I mean, I'm a really empathetic person, and so I would love to be able to help. I felt like I didn't really know how, but I also felt like I internalized all of that emotion and I put it on myself.
Yeah.
Like, whereas I did something wrong and it's my fault that this person is having an adverse reaction, when really it could have just been something like, I don't know, the light, or, a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with me at all.
Triggers.
Right.
Anxiety,
that has nothing to do with me.
Build up stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, typically sometimes it happens like that.
And I don't think we've ever even had a conversation together either of, hey, this is how we handle this situation. We kind of just went in blind.
Though
we're still blind.
one time I did tell you when we were at a store that I was like...
Oh, that was the best time. That was the best.
It was my first time and only time.
First and only time taking our own advice. Let me tell you, it really worked.
I came up.
That was the best time.
I came up to you and then I said, "Hey, I'm getting really anxious right now. Can we leave?" And then you just said yes.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no. You did that again this past weekend.
When
we were at the plant store, and there wasn't any plants that you wanted, and there was only Christmas trees.
Well, you said that we were there for plants. And they didn't have any.
Yeah.
They only have the winter stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, you did that during then too, and I was able to kind of be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go.
No, but I didn't do that right. I didn't ask you. I told you.
Oh, okay.
I said I don't want to be here right now.
But So yeah, but yeah, that was the best time. So she was able to tell me that, she was having anxiety, and I completely understood, and we ended up leaving. And I actually found the more that I hang out with her, the more that I can notice things that I know will trigger her in a public setting.
Yeah, but I don't ruin the moment. Like, if you want to go shopping, you go shopping.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying that I always try to be really mindful of that. And I, honestly, some of the stuff has started to get on my nerves.
Sometimes I like to go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
In my interests.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. Thanks.
He popped up and he was like, what?
I'm laying on it, that's why. But yeah, Julie likes to go shopping in her interests. Like, she will get restless if she's not in Fry's electronics store.
Not always. I'm never there because you don't like it.
Well, leave me somewhere else, and then you can go there.
I mean, I go shopping with you, but it has to be fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be more than 30 minutes, I think. Does that sound about right to you?
It doesn't seem like that long. It seems longer.
It ends up being, yes, longer. So we
were talking about how, letting other people know would be helpful.
Yeah.
Like the way I told you. So one of the things that I don't know, is it okay to ask people?
I think so. It depends. I don't know. Because if it was me, I would feel nervous too.
Well, nervous in what way?
Like, I would feel nervous to ask people or tell people about it. Because I feel like meltdowns are so vulnerable.
But, like, would you feel... but you're different.
Yeah.
And it takes a special person to really care for someone with autism. Because there's not always people out there that would accept it. And I guess since, we've been around each other for so long, I kind of figure that you'd be my best friend and you'll be okay to help me. Mm-hmm. But whenever you're not around, what do?
I have no idea.
And I had a sort of meltdown. Mm-hmm. And I felt really embarrassed about it. And then I ended up driving home crying because I was embarrassed but it was also a really good cry because it helped release anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that we're still figuring out too.
Yeah.
And,
I don't want people to shy away from me just because it may be someone they not recognize and see me differently, because genuinely I am the person they always knew me for. They just don't know the side effects. Is that a right word?
I guess like the symptoms or the manifestation.
Yeah. Of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time, we are not in control.
Yeah.
We are definitely out of control. Mm-hmm. And it's not by choice. We can't just say stop. It's very scary.
Mm-hmm. Are you rocking?
I have anxiety.
Thank you for telling me. Julie's sitting here rocking back and forth.
I'm having anxiety right now because I'm thinking about all the times.
Oh, okay.
And I think all the times are kind of reminding me of how, many people that weren't aware had, which I thought were gonna be.
Well,
in my mind, I thought they were gonna be longtime friends, but they
didn't work out.
Did not work out the way I wanted.
Well, at least you're not unique in that. Maybe the situation's different, but I mean, I've certainly had that before where I've had friends that didn't work out. I think it's relatively normal.
Couldn't accept that.
I think there's all kinds of reasons. People grow apart or circumstances change.
I had a friend that told me that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She works with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's very smart.
So I think we can all relate to that. And also that whole thing of like telling somebody that what to look out for if you have a meltdown, that's a very vulnerable thing to do and a very in tune thing. And I can relate to that because I would not want to do it either. And there's a lot of things in my life that probably would be better if I just opened up and was communicated exactly what it was, but I can't because of those same feelings. So I think that, you're not alone in that either. So both atypicals and neurotypicals are kind of not eye to eye, but I think can identify in that way.
Yeah. Sometimes words come out and it's uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't...
Or screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Screamings. Or crying and kicking, tossing hands and stuff. And being put in a closet.
Do you like the closet? So Julie's safe space has been the closet, but I'm kind of curious. I feel like you don't like the closet anymore. Do you like the closet method?
I don't like this closet, but...
Why?
Because it's not little.
So you want something smaller?
Yeah. It's big. This one's really big.
Okay. So what kind of closet then?
Small one.
What do I do?
Small.
We should build you
a fort.
A little skinny fort.
Or you just lay underneath the bed.
Do you fit under there?
Yes, I crawled through it before.
Okay, well then that's your new spot.
No.
Okay, well...
It's not clean down there.
Okay, well I don't know, I'm just trying to help. So, I guess that's where we're going to end today's podcast.
Oh, but...
we're all just figuring it out.
But I'm not... I mean, I think my friends are going to be really, really helpful this time around. Because they really understand me. Mm-hmm. I haven't actually had an awful meltdown yet. So
dun dun dun.
So we're
counting down.
Well, I'm just crossing my fingers that it doesn't happen. So, but I know that the friends that I have now are I think they're very understanding, and more so they've been really helpful. Yes. in a way where I am so grateful that that I finally have real friends.
You do, honey.
Yeah, I'm very excited. That's really exciting. Anyways, so this is gonna be the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys will tune in next time. So, here's our ending jingle.
Wait a minute, I want to do something new. I want to say that I feel like this podcast needs a quote at the end. Just because I feel like, just to sum it up, I feel like that doctor's... Ouch.
I hope that's not the quote.
No, I had a muscle cramp. Ow. Okay, sorry. It really hurt. It's gone. Okay. Sorry. So the quote is, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind."
By
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
I think that applies.
Okay. Thanks.
I don't mind, so I matter.
Okay.
All right, then.
Okay, now we're going to do our ending jingle.
Okay, thanks for listening, guys. We're going to see you back the Wednesday after next.
Yeah.
And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Yeah.
Yes.